The year is 1969. The Sunset Strip shimmers with the promise of stardom. Rick Dalton, however, feels the chill of a setting sun on his own career. Once the king of the small screen, his reign as a Western hero is fading. The lines on his face tell a story of late nights and hard liquor, each one a testament to the fear of fading into obscurity. The roles offered now are a cruel joke, has-beens playing has-beens. The studios are filled with fresh faces, eager and hungry. Rick sees himself in their eyes, the reflection of a past life, a time when he was young and full of fire. Now the fire is just embers, threatening to be snuffed out. His agent, Marvin speaks with a bluntness that stings. The Western is dead, Rick. The words hang heavy in the air, a grim prognosis. Rick clings to the past, to the memory of his glory days, the echo of gunshots and the cheers of the crowd. But the echo is distant, and the cheers are a whisper. He drowns his sorrows in whiskey, seeking solace at the bottom of a glass. His reflection stares back, a stranger in a world that's moved on without him. A single tear rolls down his cheek, a silent testament to a dream slipping away. Cliff Booth, Rick's stunt double and only true friend, remains a steady presence, a stoic figure with a haunted look in his eyes. Cliff has seen the darkness behind the Hollywood facade. He carries himself with a quiet strength, forged in the fires of a past he rarely speaks of. Rumors swirl around Cliff like smoke, a past shrouded in whispers. Some say he's a war hero, decorated for valor. Others speak of a darker side, of a tragedy that left its mark on his soul. He carries an aura of danger, a man who has walked through fire and emerged hardened. Cliff understands Rick's pain. He's seen the way the industry chews up and spits out those who falter. He remains fiercely loyal, a protector in a world of sharks. He drives Rick home from auditions, cleans up his messes, and listens to his rants. They are an unlikely pair, the fading star and the weathered stuntman. But their bond runs deep, forged in the crucible of Hollywood. They are two sides of the same coin, united by their dreams and their disillusionment. A silent understanding passes between them, an unspoken vow to face the fading light together. Marvin Schwartz, ever the pragmatist, arrives with a proposition. Spaghetti westerns, Rick. It's all the rage in Italy. Rick recoils at the thought. Trading his Stetson for a poncho? The idea feels like a surrender, a final nail in the coffin of his American dream. It's beneath you, Rick mutters, his pride wounded. He envisions himself lost in a sea of dubbed voices and cheesy special effects. A far cry from the gritty realism of his American westerns. He throws his glass against the wall, the shattering sound echoing his frustration. But Cliff sees a flicker of hope in the wreckage. Could be a fresh start, Rick, he says, his voice calm and steady. A chance to reinvent yourself. Rick hesitates, torn between his pride and the desperate need to reclaim his career. Italy shimmers in his mind, a land of ancient history and new beginnings. He imagines himself on horseback, silhouetted against the Italian sunset. A new kind of cowboy, reborn in the land of gladiators. The thought, though unsettling, carries a glimmer of hope. Next door to Rick's rented Hollywood Hills home live Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate. Their names are synonymous with the new Hollywood, a wave of youthful energy crashing against the old guard. Rick sees them as a lifeline, a chance to reconnect with the pulse of the industry. Sharon, with her radiant smile and infectious laughter, represents everything Rick desires. She is the embodiment of Hollywood glamour, a star on the ascent. He longs to bask in her reflected glory, to recapture some of the magic that seems to elude him. He rehearses his lines, hoping to impress her with his talent. He imagines himself sharing a drink with Roman, discussing the finer points of filmmaking. He sees himself through their eyes, young and relevant once more. But a gnawing doubt lingers in the back of his mind. Is he chasing a ghost? A faded memory of the fame he once held? Can he truly recapture the past, or is he destined to remain forever on the outside looking in? Meanwhile, Cliff finds himself drawn into a different world. A chance encounter with a young hitchhiker named Pussycat leads him to Spawn Ranch. The once grand movie set is now a dilapidated haven for a group of lost souls, led by the enigmatic Charles Manson. Cliff recognizes the danger lurking beneath the surface. Manson's eyes hold a disturbing intensity, a mesmeric quality that both repels and fascinates. The air crackles with unspoken tension, a sense of something sinister brewing. He observes the Manson family, their vacant stares and unsettling devotion to their leader. They are a stark reminder of the dark underbelly of Hollywood, a place where dreams can easily turn into nightmares. Cliff's instincts scream at him to leave, to distance himself from this den of madness, but something compels him to stay, to observe the unsettling dynamics of the group. He senses a storm brewing, a darkness that threatens to engulf everything in its path. Italy proves to be a double-edged sword for Rick. He finds a certain satisfaction in the work, throwing himself into the role of a grizzled bounty hunter. The films are rough around the edges, but his performance crackles with a raw intensity that surprises even himself. He embraces the Italian lifestyle, indulging in the food, the wine, and the company of beautiful women. He feels a sense of liberation, free from the judgment and expectations of Hollywood, yet a part of him longs for home. He misses the familiarity of his old life, the comfort of his routines. He realizes that escaping his problems hasn't made them disappear. It's merely postponed the inevitable reckoning. He returns to Hollywood a changed man. He's found a renewed sense of purpose, a quiet confidence that transcends the fickle nature of fame. He's no longer chasing the spotlight, content to let his work speak for itself. August 8, 1969. The air is thick with anticipation. Sharon, heavily pregnant, is hosting a small gathering at her home. Rick, fresh off the plane from Rome, nurses a drink by his pool, the sounds of laughter and music drifting over the fence. Unbeknownst to them, a car carrying 4 members of the Manson family crawls up Cielo Drive. Their eyes burn with a fanatic glint, their minds warped by Manson's twisted ideology. They are on a mission of chaos, fueled by a hatred for the Hollywood elite. Cliff, sensing something amiss, decides to pay Rick a visit. As he drives up the road, he notices the car parked near Sharon's driveway. The occupants, dressed in dark clothing, radiate an aura of menace. His military instincts kick in. He senses danger, a primal understanding that something is terribly wrong. He pulls over, his hand instinctively reaching for the tire iron beneath his seat. The night, once filled with the promise of summer, takes on a sinister edge. The events that unfold next are a blur of violence and chaos. Manson's followers, fueled by a toxic cocktail of drugs and delusion, storm Sharon's house. Their screams pierce the night, shattering the tranquility of the Hollywood hills. Rick, startled by the commotion, grabs his flamethrower, a prop from a recent film, and stumbles outside. He finds himself face to face with one of the attackers, a young woman named Tex Watson. Time seems to slow to a crawl. The world narrows to the space between Rick and his attacker. The flamethrower, once a symbol of his fated glory, is now a weapon of defense, a tool of righteous fury. He unleashes a torrent of fire, engulfing Tex in a searing inferno. The smell of burning flesh fills the air, a grotesque testament to the madness that has invaded their world. The police arrive, sirens wailing, to find a scene of unimaginable horror. The Manson family's reign of terror is over, their twisted plan thwarted by a twist of fate, and a flamethrower-wielding has-been actor. News of the incident spreads like wildfire. Rick Dalton, once relegated to the back pages of gossip magazines, is now front-page news. He is hailed as a hero, his actions a symbol of defiance against the encroaching darkness. The events of that night change Rick forever. He's haunted by the violence he witnessed, the fragility of life laid bare. But he also finds a strange sense of peace, a newfound appreciation for the preciousness of life. His career experiences a resurgence. He's no longer the washed-up cowboy, but a survivor, a symbol of resilience. He embraces the second act of his career, his performance is imbued with a depth and maturity that captivates audiences. The fire that once threatened to consume him has been tempered into a steady burn, illuminating a path forward. He has faced the darkness and emerged, not unscathed, but unbroken.